Welcome back to Bonico Tarot. And yeah, I figured it might be nice to have a little bit of sage to start this one off. Energies are pretty high, as we're all well aware. Sending out love, light, and truth, and the pursuit of it to all. So, here's another big report. We are dealing with a lunar eclipse. And lunar eclipses in general, can trigger fated events. But this one, it's not so much the eclipse that's of concern in this moment. It is the moon square to Mars. So we're dealing with some very intense energies. I would anticipate that that this June will be probably one of the most intense months that we've had in decades. So, as I advise to many of my friends, make sure you have your helmet on this weekend, because it's going to be a doozy. I mean, who knows what's going to happen, really. But it's definitely a time to not give in to impulses, especially when we're feeling triggered by something. So before I get too deep into the details on the eclipse, I'm going to get a little business stuff out of the way. I do offer private readings, and so I've just finished making a little flyer, which I've posted on Bonico Tarot on Facebook, so you can see it there for quick reference. But basically what I'm offering is I'm offering a one question 30-minute in-depth tarot reading. That will be for $35. And then if you want to go a little bit more into your situation, or if you have a few things you want to take a look at, then I would recommend that we do the multiple questions 60-minute reading, which a lot of the times they go more. Now, I can do those live, or I can also record them and send you a link online where you can look at them yourself and possibly opt for them for download. I'm still kind of working that out, but at any rate, I do have a space to send you a link at this time, and I'll give you more details about that once you message me. And then my third little itty bitty reading option is the I Need a Sign 3-card reading, and that is recorded only. So what I would do is email you a photo of the spread in terms of the cards that I laid out, and then a quick little voicemail or voice memo file for your use to refer to. So then also I would like to direct you to the Venus retrograde, Venus RX, for each sign, the reports that I did for each sign a little over a week ago. Those reports are going to be relevant for May, June, and July. And also a handy reference for your hindsight is 2020 kind of thing as we move into the late summer and early fall, because we've got a lot of aspects that are triggering significant changes, because we have moved into a new chapter and we're creating a paradigm that we have no point of reference for. So things are happening, we're not really seeing them coming because we're not familiar with the dynamics of this new paradigm. So Let me see, did I get all the business over with? And then also, yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so that when I do get videos up, you are notified right away. And so, yeah, let's get to the general astrological themes for this lunar eclipse. So, this lunar eclipse is in Sagittarius, and because it's square Mars, the dynamics are around love and hate. So, and, you know, all manner of extremes in this respect. So, it's a classic kind of dynamic where you really have to ask yourself, which wolf am I going to feed? There will be things that will poke you, that will trigger you. And so if you don't want to be caught up with a huge mess of details to have to work out when throughout the rest of the summer, when you really wanted to have your eye on other things, then I suggest you really rein yourself in. We all need to take a pause, take a breath, and know without a doubt that we see the way that we're heading clearly before we act. Most of the planets are in retrograde or in some stage of it, and Mercury retrograde is right around the corner, folks. So, you know, with all the action that we've seen so far, it's really best to be paying attention and put your helmet on. What this is also leading us into is we have a solar eclipse later in the month, and that will be, what is that solar eclipse going to be in? I believe it's is it Cancer? Yes, it's going to be Cancer. If I'm wrong, I will correct myself. And that's going to be based on our issues around freedoms and restriction. So I think that we're already seeing a lot of those themes that are playing out, and here at this time we're looking for sort of the culmination or the climax that does bring clarity and opens up a whole new path for many of us. One of the things that I've been finding that I've been advising my clients of so far is that when we feel like we're in this vice grip and the options are not clear, and we find that we're actually attached to a particular outcome of our situation, I recommend that you find a way to surrender without it having to mean failure or death. So, as with all of my readings, I like to play with perspective, and I invite you to join me as I provide you with the context of astrology to then create yet another story with finer details in time and space with the tarot. So, here's the deal. Capricorn, this eclipse is falling in your 12th house of the subconscious and dreams, I guess you could say. This is like the most deepest part of who you are. It's often a very introspective house, and it also can signify challenges with mental health. So those are some of the things that you're going to need to be wary of. Dreams could become very important to you over the next week or so. But in terms of the kinds of temptations and whatnot, and the trigger points for this particular eclipse, you're going to have to be especially wary of things like secrets and risky business, because there's something poking you in those spots. And so, really what you have is a need for rest and downtime. And so if you are feeling like acting out, I would Netflix and chill, maybe even by yourself. You know, just take some time. Just let the energies, you know, settle down before you take any risks. Because if you're thinking about taking risks, I'm telling you that the environment, the energies, the dynamics are not supportive of that. They're the kinds of things that'll blow your world apart and you'll have to spend a lot of time cleaning it up when, you know, so many things in our environment right now are, you know, in so much chaos. So, you know, risk taking is not a good idea. All right, so I had to say it. I have to say it because I saw it, but the Eight of Cups flipped up there for a second. So you could be walking away from a situation that is, you know, that is exhausting you, you know? So there's your first card. And where is your second card? Ah, there we go. And 3 cards for Capricorn. All right. So the surrounding energies for you, Capricorn, is the King of Swords. He's been showing up a lot. There's a certain amount of clarity that I think is coming with this eclipse. That the kind of clarity that comes when a chapter ends, you know, when we say no for the last time. So let's see here. Yeah, in the past, you have been holding things in, holding your feelings, holding your thoughts. Everything's been like tight in. So this is what actually contributes. You know, it's kind of, you know, a self-inflicted prison that we end up wanting to break out of, but it didn't exist to begin with. And so now our actions in reacting towards that perceived imprisonment is not necessarily in the right direction, because if it's towards anybody other than you, then it's possible that, you know, this has been your deal and not theirs. Party. Is somebody going to party this weekend? 2 of Wands. So I think you do want this new beginning. I think, you know, I think it's possible, Capricorn, for you to, you know, get a break, you know, from the monotony of being locked down, or the monotony of being in a situation that you don't want to be in anymore, that you've been holding on to all of this I don't want to say resentment necessarily, but you know, issues, you know, the little things, all the little things that drive you crazy about someone. You've been holding it in and holding it in, and then the trouble is with the acting out thing is that it's like, okay, you know, I've been tolerant. I've been so tolerant of this situation. Well, enough of that. I deserve some fun. And you might go back to other people in your life that you had fun with. So let's get some clarity on those with my little Rider-Waite. Nope. All right, let's clarify what you're holding in. Passion. There's some kind of passion that you're holding back with, Capricorn. Is there a situation in your life, you know, it's like, I want to play, but there's something about the situation that you're in, whether it's lockdown or not. I mean, you know, even in lockdown, you know, there's a way to find levity, but I think this is something else. You know, it's like things are cold. You know, there's clarity, but there's not a whole lot of warmth in your situation. But you're feeling it. You feel the passion. Just in day-to-day life. You know, you want to keep moving. So what's happening with this party? Yep. Lockdown has come to an end. Yeah, and I think that, so you've got the Three of Cups, clarified by the world. So an ending, or, you know. But then we have the Five of Swords. So, you know, and it could be an end to conflict. Maybe there's a fight and you say, that's it, I'm out, and you run out and go to the party. Maybe that's what's happening. Let's get one more card on that. Oh, no, I'm not taking all of those. Yeah, because there's definitely love here, somewhere in the mix. Maybe within your love relationship, you've been holding back on sharing feelings that you absolutely do have. But it's like, has too much time passed? You know, is it worth it? It's like I'm feeling a certain level of cynicism almost. But I think that that's going to clear, because it's like, yeah, because you are going to look at the past and you're going to see it for what it was and the lessons that it taught you. And you're going to understand how going through these cycles of defeat and the need to protect your heart is actually keeping the passion away. So as you assimilate and integrate that knowledge about yourself, you're going to, you know, find the inspiration to create something new and to survey where you want to start again. Yeah, but really, Capricorn, rest. It's time to rest. It's not the time to move forward on anything. You know, be very, very, very careful around misplaced passions and confusion and drama. Be real careful. So put on your helmet, Capricorn, and we'll see you again.